Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the special business meeting, Tuesday, April 15th. We are on to item 4, correspondence action requested. We have the letter from the Housing Society regarding their opportunities in the Rental Protection Fund. This is for discussion. There's not a presentation on this. We all have the letters in both in the agenda and in our packages. So Councillor Stoner sits on the board of the society, may be able to answer some questions if there are some. We've got our finance staff here. There's a finance ask here. So if there's any questions, we can try to get them clarified. But we do have, if this is something we want to pursue, we do have a limited time frame to do that in with our budget, just budget processes. So does anyone want to start with, have any questions in need of clarity for either piece of this equation? Yeah, go ahead, Councillor French.
Thanks, Mayor Herford. So in this correspondence, I see the suggestion is that the district's contribution come from the Affordable Housing Reserve Fund, which is funding that has been collected by developers over the years for the specific purpose of advancing affordable housing in Squamish. I have no doubt that this is fully accessible and can be used, but maybe our finance department could clarify either way.
Yep, thank you. Good question. Go ahead.
Thank you for the question through the chair. Yes, we did take a look at the reserve and it absolutely does qualify for this particular use. Thanks.
And while we're on this line of questioning, what do you have a rough idea of the, like, I'm trying to understand, like, quantify this against the totality of that reserve. Is this the entirety of that, or what? Can you speak to some sort of context there?
Thank you for the question through you, Mayor. Yes, I did take a look at the reserve balances, just anticipating this sort of question. If you recall, in September 2024 for the 25 to 29 financial plan, that council did endorse a number of inputs into the affordable housing reserve. So we had an opening balance of 745,000 as of in 2025. Adding the taxation of 225 into that got us into 970. That would, if this was to be endorsed by council, it would bring us to 820,000. Now, noting there is a number of contributions that will be in the reserve over the next 5 years, so the projection of the reserve will be at the end of 2029 to just over $1 million.
Okay, thank you for that context. Councillor Pinnigill.
And I may be getting funds mixed up, but wasn't part of our contributions to this in recognition of some grant or other funding we had now and we are expecting to lose possibly, and so this was smoothing that out? Or is this a separate fund where we are just investing in affordable housing and we are free and clear to use the fund?
Through the chair, thanks for the question. So I believe what you're probably referencing is the fact that we had the CMHC housing covering the annual contribution that we currently give to the Housing Society. That was 2 years, so we kept the taxation at 225 each year and had it contributing to the reserve. So that's likely what you're thinking about. And then that CMHC funding will end as of 2028. And at that point in time, we will then be utilizing that taxation piece of it. So that's likely what you're referencing, I believe.
And then if we are to support this, would staff prefer a resolution that directs the use of that specific fund, or just that we sort of ask that this come back in the spring amendment and staff will sort of confirm that that is the best place?
Thank you for the question. So I think probably the most direct and for clarity purposes to have a specific motion for the spring amendment. We have a very limited time period between the spring amendment and the legislative deadlines. So we have taken a look and seen this letter come in advance. So we've had a look and that would be the appropriate spot for it. So staff would appreciate a motion.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Stoner.
I do have a motion if folks are ready for one.
Yep,
and
go
happy
ahead
to speak to it or answer any further questions. But my motion would be that council directs staff to include $150,000 contribution to Housing Squamish funded by the Housing Reserve Fund in the 2025 spring budget amendment to be used by Housing Squamish towards a capital contribution for housing acquisition through BC's Rental Protection Fund program in 2025. If it's seconded, I'll happily speak to it.
Just before it's second, I just want to ask for a point of clarity. With that direction, is this something that if for some reason this deal doesn't come together, I think the intent here is that it's funding this acquisition, and I don't see any reason it doesn't come together, but real estate can be challenging. To me, that says that should that proceed, it could be used for that, not that it is spent regardless. Is that reflected there? I just want to make sure that we have the language that we need for this to make sure we understand it all.
Thank you for the question. Yes, absolutely. So we would have it earmarked in the spring amendment that it's for this specific use. If it is not used for that specific use, it would stay in the reserve and go unspent.
Okay, thank you. Councillor French seconds. Any comments on this? Go ahead.
I will speak to us. I think that the letter from Housing Squamish did a great job of articulating why the Rental Protection Fund is such an interesting program, both for community as well as for the Housing Society in terms of acquisition of affordable units, both protecting those for those who are living in those existing affordable housing spaces. And then also from a society perspective, with the mission of trying to get as many units under management as quickly as possible. Building new housing is really challenging and takes time. The Rental Protection Fund is a way for Housing Squamish to leverage other orders of government, in particular the province's dollars as well as federal dollars through CMHC, to get more units under management and acquisition. It's also a really interesting opportunity to continue to advance the partnership that we have with Heum Housing and Squamish Nation. And so I think for $150,000, this is really good bang for our buck if Housing Squamish is able to pull a successful application together. So I appreciate my colleagues' support for this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments? Go ahead, Councillor French, and I'll go to you, Councillor Pennington.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Herford. One of the things that really caught my eye out of this opportunity is the leveraging. Anytime we can turn $150,000 into something significantly more, whether it's for recreation or social services, or in this case, housing, I'm all over it and fully supportive.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Pennington.
Yeah, happy to support this and like to thank the Squamish Community Housing Society and Councillor Stoner for bringing this forward. As my colleagues have said, this checks a lot of boxes, multiplying our investment, the work with all the partners, getting, I think, Community Housing Society more quickly to a place where it's less reliant on taxation. These are all important things. And then just reflecting to some of the federal election discussion, housing is at the top of the list. I think most people don't really care or aren't clear on which order of government does what. They want to see people doing something on housing. There's a lot of things where we actually don't have the levers to do what we would like, but here's an opportunity where we can do something, and I see us taking some action that we can in a meaningful way, and so it makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaking in support of the motion, I recognize this is the accumulation of a lot of hard work from a lot of folks at the Housing Society, at Heum Housing as well, and I think is really a natural, to me, a natural extension of the sort of rental zoning that we did that council moved last term, and this is a sort of that next, to me, a natural next step from that. We're available to acquire and these properties and ensure that there's not an erosion of what affordable housing we do have in the community. I think is incredibly important as we push to create new affordable units as well. So a lot to like here, and I hope this is a successful endeavor. So happy to support here and formally during the spring amendment discussion to come. So happy to support. Call the question. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have a motion to terminate. Councillor Stoner, yeah. Second by Councillor French. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Enjoy the sun this afternoon. We'll be back this evening at 6 o'clock for our regular.